So we see in healthcare quite a bit of disparate data sets. And how can we help use disparate data to be able to make decisions? And how are we doing that now?
Well, I think one of our biggest keys, Mark, is we go through an exercise, at the beginning of implementation to ensure that the data is uniform. Because one thing that always happens, whether it comes from different sources or just an aging system, the controls weren't there so that, model 123 ABC wasn't 123-ABC or 123 space ABC. So we bring that all together, ensure that we have a uniform process, and then controls to keep it uniform throughout the future. Because one of the biggest keys you find in healthcare, especially with, infusion pumps and items like that, is if you have a recall, you need a quick way to be able to build that project or those work orders. And if they're different models, you're just not going to get the coverage you need. But if you have one model, it's always used. That's one of the use cases that's key for that data mapping exercise.
Interesting. So we talk about data mapping, and we also talk about in some of the work we're doing in responding rapidly.
Yeah, I think, as Gary mentioned, consolidating all this data, in essence, does allow you to respond rapidly. If you look at what's going on with cancer data research right now, or cancer research right now, one of the keys to being able to find a cure is to ensure that we have all of the cancer research data in a consistent format, which allows us to query and look for trends across all different sorts of data sets. And, the sooner we can get that data consolidated and talking to each other, the sooner we can find a cure for cancer.
What are some tools that we can use?
Well, and more than tools, obviously, leading digital platforms here at iTech, we're starting to invest in a lot of technologies we can bring together. Obviously, we have technologies that do workflow automation. We mentioned ServiceNow and Salesforce and Appian are a few that will help with improving the process and delivery process. We're also partnering with other platforms like Celonis that does process mining that really looks at all of this data and really identifies bottlenecks and challenges within a business process to identify what those solutions are. And then we're also investing in our teams are getting smarter on, and we're doing projects actively in document intelligence and RPI, robotic process automation, AI. How do you supplement these other technologies? Because at the end of the day, a healthcare customer in particular, has a business challenge. Us as technologists will come and provide a solution that has to be end-to-end, right? We don't want to come back and bring a bunch of silos back to the organization. What they're trying to break are these silos across all their different departments to drive that transformation. And our job is to come in and say, okay, this is how we would provide an end-to-end solution to solve that business challenge. Obviously, the first thing is identify where does your data live and how's it being utilized and what are potential gaps, right, in that. But then once that happens, is how do you transform the delivery of that service with the power of the data? I think we talked about cancer research as, now with data lakes, and I've heard a new term, a data lake house, where it's even more data that you can now farm and find information about, is really going to help transform, science and research and technology, but also how those services are being delivered to patients, to citizens, and even how clinicians deliver those services.
Yeah, I love that because as I was thinking through this, I was thinking about this like spreadsheets and all my data here and this and that, and then you were talking about modeling. But to be able to talk about all the different technologies that are available, to be able to bring them in for one solution for the customer and say, yep, we're agnostic of what that solution. Maybe we're just here to help you solve a problem. We're able to bring that brain power, that brain trust to be able to help you kind of think through problems. Do we have examples maybe of where we've done this already with some of our customers?
Yeah, I think, for example, it's not in healthcare space, but it is, I guess, in the grants management space. We delivered, a very robust solution, really trying to, renew kind of a legacy manual process that one of our customers had and put it on a digital platform. We talked about portals. We had multiple portals for applicants, for reviewers, for assessors, and completely automated that process end to end. But it didn't end there. We realized they also had a payment challenge where they had to send these grant payments and verification of payment. So creating integrations between systems to automate those processes. If we start automating and have machines talk to machines for a lot of that manual work that humans have to do, then employees within the organization can dedicate time to more meaningful things. And in this case, we help transform that and be more efficient in delivering grants and more grant applications. And then the upside of that is obviously all that time saved can be reinvested in other parts of the program.